listening to the Pelicans Postgame Report on the PRO Media Network for all things Pelicans.
Perfect. Fly Pelican, fly Pelican, fly Pelican. And I tell them that. Fly down, I'm a Pelican forever. Yeah, ain't gon' lie, I feel flyer than I ever been. We stay ballin', this New Orleans, I'm a Pelican. It's going down in the nest, wild, wild west. Come in town and you best, show us some respect. 3-point threat, I better make it rain. If it's something, don't jump stupid like your ankle sprain. Always said, never hate the player, hate the game. Jumper where the dame late, bunch of train. Post game, big Q, talking about business. Bird gang, YouTube, they ain't flocking with us. Lock up the division mission, get into the finals. Finish competition, then it's going win the title. I know this flyer than you can get. Such a threat that the ref just might call a tag. You could double, you could press, but you can't check. Right, left, slide by you like a Eurostep. Fly Pelican, fly Pelican, fly Pelican. And I tell them that birds of a feather flock together. Fly down, I'm a Pelican forever. Pelican forever. And never.
The first quarter, it was really off our defense, getting steals.
And never say birds of a feather flock together. Yeah, fly down, I'm a Pelican forever.
Finishing possessions when we contested shots, and it allowed us to get out in transition. 17 points in transition, pretty solid night for us.
CJ did it again, 6 threes. Just again the steadying influence that he brings night after night. And you know, when sometimes the shots weren't falling, he was there and said and ended any type of drought that you had. And just he continues to produce night after night.
He was great. He was fantastic again tonight. Whenever we needed a point, we put the ball in his hands, and he made really good decisions.
DeJounte Murray with his first Pelican triple-double. You know, since coming back from the injury and getting back into the rhythm, do you feel he's nearly back where he needs to be? Because it's taken him a while to get back after the hand injury.
He's getting there. He's getting there slowly but surely. You know, it's when you're out that long, new teammates, new environment, it takes some time to adjust. And you know, I think he would have been further along had he not had the injury. But once he had the injury, it kind of knocked him off his normal schedule, normal routine, normal rhythm with the team. Now he's starting to get there, and he's keeping the game simple, making solid plays for us, and he'll continue to build from there. Yeah,
and his turnovers are down and his assists are going up again. Did you know he was this good of a passer? Now you watching him night after night after night.
For sure, we had him. We were together all summer, the end of the summer, all training camp. So we saw what he's capable of doing night in and night out. It was just a matter of him being comfortable enough to know where his teammates are, make the right play, right pass. And then, you know, he had a hand injury. So that's always going to disrupt the way you bounce the ball, the way the ball feels in your hand. And he's getting better.
Trey left with the ankle injury, didn't come back. It just seemed the team deflated a little bit when he went into the locker room. Do you have an update on him? But the way you bounced back after, and it was interesting thinking that Brandon Boston and Daniel Tice might have made the biggest 2 threes of the ball game when Washington was trying to get back into it.
Yeah, those guys gave us a huge lift. Obviously, we hope everything is okay with Trey. No further updates right now. We'll learn more as we get home and see what his injury is like. But you know, everybody that stepped on the floor today contributed and really good win for us.
Nice to have 2 in a row now and get back on a plane and with a win headed home, and
Absolutely.
Got a big week coming up. So again, just how nice is it just to get on a plane after a W?
It's great feeling. 2 wins in a row, and we'll continue to ride this momentum.
Thanks, Coach.
Thank you.
Sorry. All right, shout out to the fam. I'm just talking my little brains already. I was just oh man, I thought I hit the button, man. I was just running it, man. I was running. I'm so sorry, man. I was just running it. Oh man, y'all missed it, man. Y'all missed it. I was talking some good shit too. Y'all missed it. Yes. For all things Pelicans.
So that's what happened when you start the show without me.
DC's in the building. Shout out the homeboy.
That's what happened.
Hey, listen,
up there
DC,
running your mouth.
I was just running
in true narcissistic fashion.
No. I was running it. Man, I was giving some good game, man. Y'all missed it. Big ups to y'all, man. Appreciate y'all for being in the building, man. Pelicans lose, man. I mean, they win. They beat the Wizards. That's 2 straight, fam. The Pelicans get 2 wins in a row here. This is the first time since the season opened up. We heard what Willie Green said, but ultimately, man, listen. Hey, man, a win's a win in this thing. I know a lot of family members feel like, hey, man.
I don't think nobody heard what Willie said, bro. We ain't had no song. What did he say?
What Willie's mic? No, they heard. I think they heard Willie. They heard Willie. Y'all heard. Y'all put chat. Y'all heard Willie. They heard Willie. They just didn't hear me on the first few minutes of the show. So, all right,
well,
yeah, I was just running it.
What he said? He was proud of everybody.
Well, DC, I kind of turned my ears off. I did. I turned my ears off for Willie, so the family members could say.
Jessica said we heard Willie.
Jessica could say.
Not replay Willie. We heard Willie.
All right. So anyway, man, 110-98 DC.
Start the show all over. Y'all can hear Willie again, man.
No, that's all right, brother. We ain't gonna do that because we still haven't got to the stats, brother. And the stats brought to you by.
I'm excited for the stats. Mr. CJ McCollum.
Mr. CJ McCollum. That is
of
right.
The New Orleans Pelicans.
Yes. So
don't get used to this. We ain't gonna be sponsoring too many more.
Well, you got Minnesota next, so we'll get to that momentarily. But I think that's it on the Pelicans. They stopped the stream after Willie and say, hey, man, that was good. We gave Willie Green. I'm pretty sure they'll have some other clips if they make some available. We'll spin them during the show if they make them available. Pelicans 7-29, 2 straight winning games against the Washington Wizards in the Pels building, go up to Washington's building, take care of business. They come home for 2. First to 2 will be against the Minnesota Timberwolves, where Ant-Man put 53 up in a losing effort the other night. He'll be motivated to play. Minnesota not looking too good right now. They are 17-17, but that's still ways away better than what
Pelicans look like a championship team compared to us.
Seriously, man, we got a chance. We got a chance, DC. If we 17-17, let me tell you something. 500, right now we got a chance.
500 this year.
Yeah, it would take a lot of fight. But anyway, let's hit some of the stats, DC, provided by CJ McCollum, man. Let's get into that, man. And then we'll move into the preview aspect of the next matchup. Pelicans tonight, 37 of 90 for 41%. The Timber. I keep thinking about Timberwolves. The Wizards, 38 of 89 for 43%. 3-point shooting abundance by the Pels tonight. 18 of 49. Willie got his 43-point shots. He got 9 more on top of it. 37% for the Pelicans shooting threes tonight. The Wizards was 11 of 41 for 27%. Pels got to the foul line 20 times, converted 18 for 90%. The Wizards 11 of 14 for 78.6%. Pelicans almost a 50 rebound night for them versus 46 by the Wizards. Pels 26-25 on the assist game, 7-6 on the steal game, 8-4 on the block game. With the total turnovers, 12 by the Pelicans versus 16 by the Wizards. Both 14 points conceded off those turnovers. The fast break game was a whole nother thing as well. The Pelicans won that thing 17-14, and the Wizards got the points in the paint 48-32. So the Pelicans led by as much as 21 in tonight's affair and got that going on. And then as we switch over to the individual statistics, baby, in the individual side of things, you see Mr. CJ McCollum, 25 points in 36 minutes. 9 of 18 from the field, 6 of 11 from downtown, 22 from Trey before he got hurt in 29 minutes, 8 of 19 from the field, 4 of 10 from downtown, almost a double-double by Trey. He had 9 rebounds to go along with those 22 points. He was plus 19 as well. DeJounte Murray had 14 points in 36 minutes. He had a triple-double day for DeJounte Murray. He was flirting around with it a couple of games ago. He got it tonight. 14 points, 12 assists, and 10 rebounds, and plus 15 for DeJounte Murray tonight. Yves finished with 16 points and 7 rebounds in 33 minutes, 11 from Herb, and 4 rebounds, a couple of blocks and steals in 38 minutes. And then, of course, off the bench by the Pelicans, nothing really big to talk about. Jose had 6 points and a couple of rebounds in there, 5 from Brandon Boston Jr., 5 from Daniel Tice, 3 apiece from Jose and Jeremiah Robinson Earl. But the Pelicans got the dub against the Wizards. They improved to 7-29, 2 in a row, first time since the start of the season. There you go. So anyway, that's the stats brought to you by CJ McCollum. All right, so anyway, we got Lex in the building as well. DC, shout out to you as well. Big ups from the island.
Yo,
Let's get into the
Island of New Orleans for sure.
Okay, yeah, DC, that wasn't needed. Okay, so let's get into the thought process on your what happened tonight with the Pelicans.
They got out to a hot start, man. Really was that 3 ball was dropping, along with just playing as a team, man. Everybody had their roles, and they were all in their roles and performing them well. It didn't hurt that CJ continued his hot shooting. Trey was actually playing pretty well too. DeJounte was doing his thing, and all of that led to them getting up maybe 41 points to 25 point score
Right.
against the Wizards, and they just never turned back after that. They kind of idled it down, and then they would mash on the gas a little bit and idle it back down. And they just stayed pretty much consistent throughout the whole game. Yves Misi doing his thing, man. He continues to grow. Thought offensively he looked pretty well, and he's becoming an absolute monster on the offensive rebounds, man. So he didn't get a whole bunch of them tonight, but just it seemed like the ones he did get turned into points. So just the Pels, they all around, man, just played a solid brand of basketball as a team. That's what it looked like to me. You didn't have a whole bunch of selfishness going on. The ball was kind of moving around. And I think if they would play like this all the time, even earlier in the season, we probably would be talking about a different season if we just kept, moving the ball from side to side, man. Obviously, you want more strategy than just that, but moving the ball from side to side definitely was working tonight. And CJ just, man, he playing his ass off, man. So shout out to him.
Yeah, he is. Lex, thoughts on tonight's affair? CJ McCollum, another heavy effort. DeJounte Murray's triple double. Trey Murphy was shooting the lights out prior to him getting hurt. I'm showing that fantastic dunk. He went up and just crammed that thing, man, over Sarr. What you thought tonight about the Pelicans matchup? Uh-oh, Lex, you're muted. Don't pull a me.
Huh?
There you go. Because nobody ain't helped me. I was the family member was trying to help me in the chat, and I was talking for like 2-3 minutes, and they said, "Q, we can't hear you." Then they just
My bad. I came on late. I would have told you.
yeah, that's
Be like, turn your mic on. Come on. Look,
man. I
going
was
through
Lex.
good stuff.
Lex, I was telling them, man. I was giving them great game, and they just all like, oh
And
man,
did
y'all
nobody hear you?
they ain't hear none of it. Damn.
Dang. It's all right, Big Q. It's all right. You were rehearsing, so you got the practice in. But I think from the last game, I mean, they use that as motivation to build their confidence. So it was a great boost for them. Hey, if we beat this team the way that we did, we can definitely beat them again. And that's basically what I saw. Um, the energy was okay. I mean, given who they're playing up against, this team is, I mean, aside from talent, it's on the same playing field. So the thing is that because that talent gives them an edge, like just team wise, collective wise, they just, the Pelicans have a better team. They were able to come out and impose their will, and they did, what they were supposed to do, just like uh, building that confidence from the first game that they played against them. CJ, he's been doing well. Obviously, these last few games, him, chucking up the shots and things like that, they have equated to wins. Okay, because we know he's been having good games, but obviously they haven't been equating to wins. But it's a 2-game win streak. I don't know if they can make it 3. I don't even know who's after, but they gotta win. I think the biggest thing is for me is Trey, he got hurt. That's not great news. It seems like in order to get have something good to happen to the Pels, something in that same breath has to happen. So I'm not really excited about that, because obviously he's been doing well. He's been opening up his game, and I'm actually excited about his game probably more so than CJ's, because he's the future for the Pelicans. So it's nice to see him get off as well as Messi. But it was an overall collective game. They shot well from the 3. There was ball movement. They were attacking, kicking it out. So they were doing, against, what they were going up against, everything that they were doing on tonight was working, along with their boosted confidence. So, it's great that they got the win.
Yeah, it was a good win for the Pels, man. I was like, all of the losing, and you're right. We, as a team, from a talent perspective, there's a difference. Like, the Pelicans have all of these players, and I mean players that's costing a lot of money, man. You got the Washington Wizards team. They got a lot of developmental players, some veterans mixed in there, but it's a different motivation, I guess, for lack of better words, between what we looking at with Washington versus what we looking at with the Pelicans. By all means, the Pelicans had 49 wins last year, and there was supposed to be a springboard from which that floor was, and we go from that into the stars north of the 49. Has not been the case. So for us beating the Wizards, I knew that we would beat the Wizards. That was just a game. Now, what do the Pelicans do with this? Because we got to see what's going on with Trey, obviously. Then there's the issues that's we get Zion and BI coming back. Even Joel said that during the stream, like, Zion's coming back, and then we got BI. So there's an expectation when you get Zion and BI to coming back prior to us, getting them healthy enough to be traded. And the way that McCollum's cooking, almost is like, hey, man, somebody could be looking at him saying, hey, bro, you ready to get on up out of here? You've been putting up some good games too. We could use you. So, I mean, a lot of stuff kind of swaying in the wind here, but nonetheless, we had to win these games against Washington. You can't lay down to a Washington Wizards team. That's why I said they'll more than likely get a winning streak. Now, the next game, Lex, you want to know who they go up against next? It is the Minnesota Timberwolves, led by Ant-Man.
Oh,
Yes,
okay.
that's next. So we got them coming up next. So what do
Is that a
y'all?
home game or an away
That's
game?
a home game. They got 2 at home, one against Minnesota. The first one's at Minnesota.
Okay. So is Zion coming back this week? Has anybody heard anything?
It's rumors he's supposed to make an appearance next week sometime. So I don't know which game. We got 2 games coming up, home games. So we'll see there. DC, did you hear anything? Because I didn't hear whether or not which game. I know it's supposed to be in the week coming up.
I haven't seen no.
I know we was talking Friday. My man Stacy said ESPN said Wednesday, but other than that, I haven't heard anything. And my rule of thumb is anything they tell me about Zion,
add a week
just
on.
Add like a week or 2 to it.
Yeah. Well,
It
that's
used to be a month, but this year since the injury ain't that serious, I'm just add a week or two. But normally it's like 4 weeks.
Yeah. So I mean, this is the next matchup. Minnesota 17-17. Ant-Man put up 53 points in a losing effort. We got this squad, and it's the first time we match up against Minnesota.
Well, Stacey said
season.
ESPN said the 5th, so and it ain't gonna happen.
Nah, we're a little late, just a little late being today.
Zion ready to play right now after the game.
Oh, he ready to go. He ready to go today.
He's ready to go after the game.
So if that's the case, then the 7th would be, if logic holds, then we'll see Zion make an appearance against Ant-Man's Timberwolf club.
Wait, Zion ain't did his interview yet. Y'all hold tight for that interview.
That'll be Monday. That will be Monday. That's when you'll see that interview. That'll be Monday. So let's kind of preview this thing. Lex, what you think? Pels, Minnesota. 2-game winning streak. Can they carry it into the Minnesota game? With Minnesota not playing all that well, but do we have enough to get a win?
I'm not sure. I like to know a little bit more about Trey Murphy, because Trey Murphy, other than CJ, Trey Murphy right now, with this roster, if Zion's not going to be available, he's that other guy who can put up some points. But I mean, right now we don't know. They may hold him out, but even though the T-Wolves are struggling, I still feel like, they may get the Pelicans on this one. They have more of an identity. They have been winning games. They have been up and down, but I don't think they've been up and down as far as on teams that are like way below like 500. I think for the most part, they've taken care of business. I just feel like, I mean, they're still working out the kinks, but they still have some type of foundation. And I've been hearing the interviews of Anthony Edwards, not being pleased, talking about their identity, but the Pelicans aren't really, their identity situation is totally different from the Pelicans' identity situation. So it's kind of like night and day, but I don't know. I think the T-Wolves probably get this game.
All right, DC, what you think, brother? What happens here? 2-game winning streak. Can the Pelicans carry it into a win against Minnesota? First game home. Perhaps Zion is there. If Zion is there,
what the matchup indicator say, Q?
Okay, DC. The matchup indicator, I don't know. I didn't even look. You're basing your decisions based on the matchup indicator now? Is that what's going on?
Yeah, the matchup indicator been like 88% accurate this year. There you have it, Q. Read them and weep. 62.5% says the matchup indicator. So
is that taking Zion? If Zion comes back, and he's definitely probably more than likely going to be on some type of minute restriction, does that help the chances?
Got to see who's available.
No,
not this game.
DC totally corrupted.
I don't go by the.
I mean, don't we play them twice?
Looking at the matchups.
Yeah, DC talking about the matchup indicator. What'd that say?
No, I'm saying like the actual matchup, like when I'm looking at how they match up, like who's available and things like that, and how guys are playing. But I mean, shoot. I mean, to go from the Wizards to the T-Wolves, that's a huge difference. It's a huge difference in competition, level of play. I don't feel like when the Pelicans come out, like energy wise against the better teams, I just kind of feel like it's up and down. It's not consistent because like I said, obviously with the Wizards, the matchup, the Wizards are kind of like in the same boat as the Pelicans. So, I don't feel like the T-Wolves are as far
better than the worst team in the league.
Huh?
We're better than the worst team in the league. We're the second worst team in the league.
Yeah, but before that Wizards game on Friday, the Pelicans were the worst. I know what you're saying.
And they
Yeah,
fought
once they
like
got that win,
hell to not be the worst, and now they content. So they're gonna
yeah,
lose
I
against
mean,
T-Wolves.
yeah, I understand, but still, playing the Wizards is not the same way as you would hope to play against like Boston or something. You know what I'm saying? It's a huge difference as far as the level of competition that you're playing. Now, I understand everybody's a pro out there, but there is a difference. Just experience, just energy, the level of intensity of just playing, it's just different. And that's totally different from the Wizards. So when I look at those matchups and I look at how just the energy wise, and what guys are bringing to the table, it's kind of hard to be like, hey, even coming off of a win, because I'm not saying like if they were really, I would need them to do this to a team that's doing a whole lot better to really say that hey, they would get the T-Wolves. I mean, they possibly good. I'm not going to rule them out, but at the same time, as it stands right now, we don't know the situation with Trey. We don't. I mean, they're not. We never know the thing with Zion. So
Damn. Never, Lex.
no, I mean, you know what I'm saying? We don't know, not from the organization. Look at what ESPN is telling us. And that doesn't mean anything. You know why? Because he plays for the Pelicans, and the Pelicans are in control if Zion's going to be playing or not. So we never know. And if we do know, they're going to lie to us, right?
I think we do. I
You know
think if it's a question mark whether Zion will be there, he won't be there. If it's a definitive yes, he's gonna play. He's gonna play. It's pretty cut and dry.
Okay.
If
Well,
it's
you know
any
what?
leeway
Then we'll
that
have
he
to
might
come back
not play, he's not gonna play. It's that simple.
after his Monday interview.
He do a Monday interview, he playing.
Huh?
If he do a Monday interview, he playing.
Not
He gonna do
necessarily.
it's gonna be an interview on Monday. You know it.
If he do a
Okay,
Monday
well,
interview, he gonna play
after the
Wednesday.
interview on Monday, we'll know for sure. So we'll have to come back on here again to determine, because we don't know if Trey or Zion's going to be available.
I
right?
mean, I don't think it changes anything, and I think the matchup indicator understands that. Is even though Big Q don't like that, but Zion, even if he does return, this is the first game.
It makes
And
things interesting.
it make it interesting, and a lot of times, when he returns after a long hiatus, he don't always play his best ball, and then obviously, the way things go, Trey Murphy will not be there. He rolled his ankle again, and I think they're gonna do the same thing they did last time he rolled his ankle. I think he missed a game or two. He didn't miss
No,
much time. He didn't miss a
I don't
game at
think he
all.
missed a game because he recently kind of rolled his ankle.
And he didn't miss a game
And
at all. I thought he missed like one
he
game.
didn't miss a game because there was a
Okay,
day
well,
there was
maybe
there
he
was a
played. Maybe I'm
day
wrong.
that there wasn't a game. It wasn't a back-to-back. So he
Well, I
had
mean,
a
we
day
don't have
where
a
he could
back-to-back
rest.
now. So
Yeah, so I mean, he may come back. I don't know. I mean, he was out
somebody
for the
need to
rest of the game.
introduce him to ankle braces, man.
Now, the
Or
thing
some
is,
different tennis shoes or something.
the whole team needs to do some flexibility type exercises to strengthen their joints.
We'd have to get another physical therapist for that, Lex. We only have
Okay,
one.
well, I feel like we need like 3 or 4, maybe 5, and then you need to get them from out of state and not Oshner.
I don't think Amy came from Oshner.
Oh, no, I'm just saying we want to continue that. Okay, look, don't go to nobody from Oshner. That's all I'm saying. You need to go get somebody from New York, from Minnesota. Shoot, you can even come to Louisville. I did specifically say those places because those are the top medical places in the country.
Okay.
And I know that for sure. My sister works for one of them. You know what I'm saying?
The Pelicans
Why
need
don't
to
you put a
hire.
recommendation in for her? I'm sure she could help a lot.
She cold-blooded.
Yeah, she need to be over here, man.
Somebody,
at least somebody could go get some of Miss Benson money and don't be stealing it.
Hey.
Nobody's stealing money, DC. They're
What?
giving it away.
What? Oh,
Yeah, they under contract, remember?
God damn.
Look, both parties agreed to it.
Miss
That's
Benson is
why.
such a
That's why I'm
philanthropist.
kind of laughable. Hey, you know what I'm saying? Because hey, both parties had to agree to that bad boy. So ain't nobody stealing. Anytime somebody talking about a player stealing money,
Willie's
it's
stealing,
like,
man.
really?
Willie is an assistant coach moonlighting as a head coach. Willie is stealing.
They paying Willie, bro.
He overpaid, man.
They
Yeah.
paying Willie, dog. Willie getting his bread, bro. And David Griffin helping him get it. He protecting him, and Willie shouldn't have made it into the new year, but they're hiding right now. They're waiting for Zion Williamson to hit the floor, and then when they pick up a couple of more wins, he'll slide out, want to have a conversation with you.
Who Griff? The Griff monster?
It won't be the other guy.
You know what? That'll be really something. He
Nobody
will probably come out one
You pick
Zion.
up a couple of wins.
Nobody don't want to hear it.
I mean, but he's still gonna slide out, and it won't be a situation where he addresses
Griff
the
has
media.
attached himself to Zion, man.
It'll
He
be
really has.
It'll be a situation where he slide in between the game when Joel Myers and AD sitting up there talking. He'll slide right on in there.
What would be the point now? Just keep
to talk.
hiding.
Just to talk. Just to say something.
Yes, Jamal, she did. Hold on.
Well, this ain't
How
nothing.
y'all feel about this?
What's up, Lex?
So we're saying Gil Benson agreed to get her money stolen. Like I said, I don't think it's stealing.
I don't think. Hey, y'all gonna stop playing with Gail. When them people rolled up in that car and tried to carjack her, she wasn't having that. Gail ain't agreeing to have her money stolen.
Yeah. Them boys are trying to get Gail, and Gail got them up all.
To a certain extent, Tramal.
You better get out of
here. She ain't agreeing to have it stolen.
It's only by certain people.
Now wait. When
like the Three Stooges, right below her. Y'all know who the Three Stooges
better
are,
get
right?
out of here. You better get out of here. And she had that thing on her, boy. Gail's about to light it up. She about to light it up on.
When Miss Benson does find a cause that she deems worthy, she will open that pocketbook and dump out a lot more than change. So
she's definitely charitable. There's no doubt about it.
She's very charitable. So she didn't get stolen. Now she's a giver though. She's an awesome giver.
She does do that.
So maybe she gave it away like Q said, but they ain't steal it.
They fleecing her.
I don't know how I feel about charity, man.
Playing on her good heart.
There's some underlying meanings behind all that stuff.
Like what? Them giving the money away?
No. I'm gonna just cut to the chase. It's a tax write-off, okay?
That's true.
Okay, so like you're making billions of dollars.
Got to get spent.
I understand, but
you got to give it away to get a break.
It's a tax write-off. So the thing
that's
is,
true, but it can go somewhere else other than New Orleans.
It's a huge benefit for a billionaire. It's like you have all the money in the world. You know what I'm saying? Like it sounds good. It's great for publicity and things like, you're doing things for the community and stuff. But it's like, okay, how come you can't really do some good by getting this basketball team together?
She did do some good.
You know what I'm saying? Like, no, and I'm not talking about, Miss
Benson got them tickets down to $1 up in there.
I'm keeping the basketball team in the city and things. That's not good enough. It's like, dude, like you need to get some people who know the game and get the right people in the front office that can really get this right. So this can be a competitive basketball team. Mm-hmm. Because it's almost like you're holding supporters hostage. You're holding them hostage. Be like, okay, hey, what, you complaining now? Oh, okay, well, we'll take the team out the city. It's like, no, nobody wants a team and they're losing like this. You know what I'm saying? It's like you want a team that's trending in the right direction.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? It's having you don't just have a company with no vision. When you look at Nike, Under Armour, any type of business, they had a vision, right?
Yes.
Those companies had a vision. Yeah. So come on, people. Just make it make sense. Make it make sense.
Shout out to Bird Talk, man. Thank you for becoming a new member. One shiny green dollar.
All right.
All right. Shout out
Bird Talk.
Thank you, Hoffa.
Talk.
Ankle support or high tops anymore
Yeah.
wouldn't hurt. Thank you,
They
brother.
just
That's
they
right.
just had
I
to
appreciate
yoga.
that.
And of course, y'all see Brother Hoffa is the cousin of Herb Jones. So shout out to Brother Hoffa.
He
Yeah,
show is. Show his picture again.
Bro.
That's Brother Herb Jones' cousin, man. So he believe in defense. You better believe
So
it.
he Keyshawn Herbert Jones.
Bro.
Oh, CJ called the man his whole name. Yeah, Herbert.
Herbert Keyshawn, man,
He
he got
said
that
Herbert.
bad. He be calling everybody.
Like, bro, what's wrong with you, bro?
I'm gonna call him by his
Herbert
cousin.
have a really good name.
Like,
Herbert,
hey.
he said it yesterday. I mean, the other day, he said Herbert have a really good game defensively. We need him. Like Herbert.
Herbert, he's Herbert. His mama called him Herbert. I'm gonna call him Herbert. It's like, all right, AD.
Go ahead, Lex. What you were saying?
I was finished. That's
All right. So big ups to the fam, man. Appreciate y'all support. Bird Talk, thank you, sir. Much love to you guys. Yeah, the ankle support thing. Yeah, I've been looking at Hoffa Jones. There you go.
Them low tops. I am not a low top fan.
Yeah, we got to dig. Something got to be done. I was reading something a couple of years ago about supporting the ankles of the players, like when they're jumping and they're at the mercy of when they leave the floor. Sometimes, people get up under their feet. I've seen in this year a lot of that. Now, this was not intentional by, I think he stepped on Valanciunas' foot, but a lot of what was going on, like in a lot of these games, you see, like when players defend, like what happened with BI when what's his face got right up under him.
Lugent Dort.
Yeah, when Dort got right up under him, and then his feet was down. When BI came down, he had no place to land except for on the guy's feet. So yeah, they was serious about that when it happened to Kawhi. When that happened with Kawhi Leonard, when whatever his face, the dude that looked like Rocky, got up under his feet there, and he never been the same.
Pachulia.
Yeah, Pachulia, when he got up under his feet. They used to really kind of been on that rule, like enforcing that hard. But to this year, guys are running, they're getting close to that landing area, and they have not been like really penalizing people for doing that this year that I've seen. So, I mean, there was some technology they were working on to try to protect against that. And I think that needs to definitely be looked into, man. That's the big part of the game, is see if we can find some type of tech where you can, some kind of way, we can kind of, I don't know, mitigate that, so to speak. You know what I mean? If somebody found something to that, boy, they'll make a small fortune, man, a big fortune doing that with all those injuries. When you leap and then land and somebody's foot up under there, and you just susceptible to getting a twisted ankle or worse.
I don't know. I think they need to follow around Steph Curry, man. He some type of way he figured it out. Whatever the hell he doing, or he winning, or
he stayed the hell away from you.
It's working. Or
he stayed the hell away from you.
Shooting from half court don't hurt.
That's right. You're right. He stayed the hell away from you. That's what it is. Or if he's shooting the ball, he making sure nobody around him, whatever the case may be. But he's been really hyper sensitive about people getting around his landing space, man. And you're working among the trees.
That's intelligent, man.
It is. You got to be aware about what's going on around you there.
Yeah,
that takes some wisdom.
One thing I'll say is that when you deal with a serious injury, it really allows you to see things differently when you're out there on the court. I don't know how it is as far as with the football field, but yeah, you like, hey, I know how to play hard and avoid injuries. You know what I'm saying? watching people's feet. But one thing that I know I still do it. I actually watch how people move. And if they're moving reckless, it's like, okay, you do a little thing. I be paying attention just how people move and stuff. And that kind of helps to, just avoid, like, if someone's stepping in a certain spot, just maneuvering around or, just doing something different, to hustle or get after the ball. But I think ultimately, though, guys, especially for this team, they need to strengthen their joints, though. You know what I'm saying? There's stretches that you can do to strengthen your ankles, and I think and that's something that they, Like anytime you have like a sprained ankle for a long time, I mean, they do that rehab, but that's also something that you can do when you're not rehabbing. Just something that you can do just to strengthen those areas. But yeah, it just seems like guys, they just have, those different ligaments or, that are just weak. They just got to strengthen them bad boys. Because it seems like it's only here. You know what I'm saying?
Well, I mean, we had a culture of non-accountability, and then when you got like Zion who started the team and he doesn't do pregame stretching, and I just wonder how much of that trickles down to everybody. It just makes me wonder: is everybody else really doing all the things that they should do before the game, like you would do at other professional organizations? And I think a big part of that has to do with our front office, and there's really there's no punishment or no accountability for not doing those things. So if they skipping, stretching, and all of that, like they don't get in trouble, fined, suspended, or nothing like that. Like, what's preventing everybody else to just go? Are they gonna say, "Oh, I got my own personal trainer and I just kind of do things on my own and don't do the shit"? You know what I'm saying? Like,
wouldn't you say that falls in the realm of the head coach? Of him.
It does. But you gotta have a head coach who's either for guys to fall into that. Like you look at a guy like Steve Kerr, right? He could always use that line. Well, Michael Jordan did, or Michael Jordan did. Tim Duncan and such did, because he was around a lot of championship, Hall of Fame guys.
Yeah, he played with them.
He's not a Hall of Fame player himself. So you either got to be that, or you had to be around those.
I think you're gonna make it in the Hall as a coach.
Willie Green gonna tell you about?
I don't know Kerr. You don't think Kerr makes it in as a coach?
No, you're missing my point. Yeah, but I'm saying my point is, even when he was up and coming before he won, he could get guys to buy into doing the necessary things by saying that great generational players did this, and that to prepare. And if we want to be champions, you need to do this, and that. It starts off the court doing this here. When Willie Green come to you, even though he may be right,
it's gonna be
in saying some of that, like, what is his example? You know what I'm saying? Like, why are they gonna take Willie serious? Talking
about Williams
pregame stretching.
Well, Monty Williams said, he used to do when he was, and I don't know. I mean, I don't know what you can say. I don't even remember who he played with.
Who Willie played with? I mean, he might have played with AI. Maybe.
I want to say
he played with AI.
I don't know if he played.
I know he was on Philly.
I don't think AI was there when he was there, was he? I don't know. I have to look into it, but greatness adjacent is what you're saying. That Steve Kerr was fortunate to be around players and witness what they did, and those players respect.
Then you have. I guarantee you, every organization you look, there's going to have some level of somebody who's been around greatness. Where people are winners. Typically, there's going to be some type of connection to that. Some organizations, just the organization speaks for itself. You got a lot of the culture that still shows up in the building, because the players in the past were part of this organization. They did right by them, and they still come through and talk to these players. We don't have that here. So we need.
It's a culture thing. Yeah,
we need a coach. Yeah, we need a coach that can bring that. Or we would have been looking for our general manager to bring that, and we have neither.
Well, that's the thing. That's what I'm saying. That's a culture thing. What we have here is a basketball cult with some type of weird dude running around talking about good human beings and mechanics and all this kind of stuff. We don't have a guy with a resume like you would get a guy from Miami who's an executive that's in that area, or you would go to
Pat Riley's over Austin. There, man, who was part of the Showtime Lakers and shit.
Right. But that's the culture. The culture's created.
Like 4 different levels,
It don't matter. It don't matter where you take somebody like Pat Riley. It don't matter where you get him from. Like if you can put him in any situation, and he's going to win because he got the key.
Yeah, he's going to win.
Got the key. You understand? He's going to win. Right. He went to the Knicks. They didn't win a championship, but the Knicks, I think
They started winning.
competitive.
They
Yeah,
were
competitive.
really competitive.
They were
That's
competitive.
when they had them back and forths with Miami when he was over there.
And
But Bird Talk said, yeah, Willie Green played with AI. So Bird Talk checked it out. But watch how this analogy works. Willie Green walks in.
That works against
AI.
you, though, DC.
Oh,
Wait,
yeah.
wait. Exactly. So he walks in. Willie Green's like, well, AI used to do this.
Man.
AI used to do that. And the players are like, Coach, we talking about practice? AI ain't even practice. That shit go out the window.
So the one example he can use,
exactly. AI is historically known for
how AI cursed him out.
not practice. So
the one example he has, he can't use it.
Exactly. And then you got to explain to him, and their ears gonna turn off at a certain point. Well, AI said the thing about practice because his best friend died that day, and and they clipped that up. I was there, and they don't want to hear that shit. You done lost them, Q.
Well, DC, he played with T-Mac.
T-Mac would be a good example.
He played with
T-Mac.
T-Mac.
T-Mac career ended because of injury. So I mean, good example, but
but T-Mac was
T-Mac was that dude,
14th
man.
season with the Hawks. So I mean,
T-Mac definitely would have won a championship. Should have won a championship.
He played again. He had Al Horford. He played with Al Horford there. That's the Jerry Stackhouse. I mean, that's about as good as I've seen with him. With the 1 year, he went to Atlanta for 1 year.
Chris Paul, okay. Chris Paul, so CP3, another person who ain't win no championship.
Still playing. He played with Jamal Crawford.
Did he play with anybody that won a championship?
Grant Hill
No,
didn't win a championship.
He didn't win no championship.
Lex said no.
No,
none of them guys. Great player that won a championship because that's what's
Chauncey Billups.
That's what's gonna catch their ear. You know,
he was with Chauncey Billups.
Chauncey was a good example.
Karan Butler. Didn't Karan Butler win a title with the Heat?
No.
Yeah,
no?
he won. But
Willie
Green didn't play with the Heat though.
No, but Karan Butler was with Grant Hill. This is when Willie was in the Clippers in 2012 and 2013. You know, he was 32 years of age. You know, he was on Doc Rivers' team, and I'm trying to find somebody because that was an interesting point you raised, DC, was who did he play with that he compared to? Well, I mean, he played again. He had Antoine Jameson on the team. Yeah, Steph Jack. None of these dudes are like, they're good players, but none of these guys are somebody you're going to
top 100 players, really, bro.
No, he hadn't played with anybody. Jamal Crawford is the only guy. I'm looking at his year when he was 32. And he spent his last season with the Orlando Magic. And let me see who was on this squad. Yeah, Evan Fournier and Aaron Gordon.
Nobody.
No, Mo Harkless. Wow.
Nobody.
Yeah, nobody of it. Victor Oladipo and Elfrid Payton. He was on the team with Elfrid Payton.
Ain't that something?
So yeah, so there you go. So I mean, outside of that, man, all I can mention to you is the fact that he did play with AI that year. He was on that first team. Derek Coleman. You played with Derek Coleman.
Q, stop it. My point.
Samuel Dalembert. How about that guy?
My point still stands, man. So when Willie walks in there and he's trying to tell them, the type of things it takes off the court to win a championship.
Dog Robinson.
Come on, Q.
Glenn Robinson. I'm trying to throw something. I'm trying to help Willie out some kind.
Glenn Rice. You did better with Glenn Rice. But when he's in there trying to tell these guys that I don't know how serious they would take him about doing the things off the court. And I think we've had so many negative examples in our front office that, these guys are going in the off season, man. They kind of doing their own thing, trying different methods of training and, just trying to figure it out themselves, And a lot of times I think some of that works. With some stuff has always been around and, ain't no sense to recreate the wheel. But
C-Web, DC.
That would be a good example, even though he won a championship. That's probably one of the best.
That's who he played with. He played with Chris Webber.
I would have a lot of Chris Webber stories for Zion, but might be a little too late. Will Willie even think to bring this shit up?
No, no, he wouldn't. Of course, he wouldn't do that, brother. No.
Stacey, he didn't say Glenn. He didn't say Glenn Robinson. I say Glenn Robinson. Yeah, he was talking about the other thing.
No, Glenn Robinson, Big Dog.
You say Glenn Robinson?
Big Dog Robinson. He played with him.
Okay.
In Philly. Big Dog was there. Of course, Big Dog wasn't a dog when he was with Philly. He was a dog when he was with Milwaukee.
He was an old hound. He was an old hound. But
he was an old hound dog after that.
Yeah,
but
yeah.
he still could play, but he wasn't where he is. And Derek Coleman was one of my favorite all-time players. Derek Coleman was a beast for Syracuse, and then he went to the Nets and was doing this thing up there for a little bit. But that was a loaded era for him.
No, I'm not trying to like step on them dudes. I'm just talking about like championships, bro. And Derek Coleman, I don't remember him winning a championship.
Nah, none of them guys were championships.
I'm talking like that. Like, you want to compare yourself because people connect greatness to championships, even though I think that ain't fair because Charles Barkley and Allen Iverson are some of the best players I ever seen in my life. And they didn't win a championship. And it's not because they're not great. They didn't have a team. They didn't have a run at the right time. Like, it just was an unfortunate situation. You can say the same thing about Karl Malone, but
Carmelo. How about Carmelo? You want to throw
Carmelo?
Carmelo?
You can say the same thing about Carmelo too. He was definitely great, man.
Well, one thing about Barkley and Malone and AI, they at least made it to the finals. Melo never did that, and they did.
He made it to the Western Conference Finals. I think either the Spurs or the Lakers put them out when he was with Denver.
No,
I mean, that's still the finals. I give Carmelo a little bit of a pass, Lex, because you gotta look at the era he was in.
Like they had a chance. They actually were in the position where they had a chance to win a championship. The Western and Eastern Conference Finals. That's not. You're still a series
the dude played in the era with Tim Duncan and Kobe Bryant. Like I know. Like I'm just saying it's a rough circumstance. It's a rough circumstance, man. Like, Penny was one of my favorite players.
I mean, Melo had a chance to go to the Heat. It was actually supposed to be Wade, LeBron, and Melo. And Melo decided to stay. He said that his wife wanted to stay there.
He was trying to stay with the Nuggets. But they threw him for
was
a loop.
The Nuggets or the Knicks?
He didn't want to get traded from the Nuggets. He came out and said that they wound up trading him. It was like some stuff with the contract, and they couldn't come to terms on that.
I remember that Udry. He had just signed a contract, like similar to what Blake Griffin did when he signed his contract with the Clippers, and secretly they didn't tell Melo. But they were shopping him around, and Melo ended up finding out. And so he was like, I mean, really? You know what I'm saying? He was pissed off about that because he had just signed. He had just re-signed with them. And that's when it really all started because it was like, why would you sign me to this contract, but yet you trying to get rid of me as soon as you sign me?
Didn't
like that didn't sit well with him, especially when he's talking about, hey, I want to be here, love the city, you know what I'm saying? Like he was showing his commitment to the organization, but they weren't showing the commitment to him. And so it's funny because what the media did is they basically turned it around like, Melo was holding the organization hostage. I thought that was so funny how they flipped the script. I'm like, so now, instead of you all looking guilty, y'all basically pinned it on all, it was a mess. And so then that's when they shipped him off to New York. But yeah, that's how they got started. That wasn't Melo's fault though. That was Udry's fault. I think that's how you say his name. But yeah,
it was definitely some usury going on because at the end of the day, the Pelicans, man. I mean, I'm about to say what you call.
They messed that whole team up with the Denver Nuggets. That was so stupid.
Didn't they have Iverson on that squad too?
They had Iverson.
Yeah, Iverson. They had
J.R. Smith. They had was Chauncey Billups on that team too?
He was for
Chauncey Billups was on that team.
He was on there later.
Kenyon Martin, who was Marcus Camby.
Who was that one guard? He's non-athletic.
Andre Miller. Miller.
Thank you. Andre Miller. He was on that squad.
Also,
J.R. Smith was on that squad too.
Wasn't it Iguodala on that squad too? Didn't they have Andre Iguodala at one point?
No,
Nuggets?
he
No.
got Iguodala was still with Philly.
No. Aflalo, Aaron Aflalo, he was pretty good too.
Aaron Aflalo. I
Yeah,
remember
he
him
was
Yeah,
from,
on that
that's who you
team.
think
Orlando.
about Iguodala. They kind of look similar. Him and
Aaron
Aaron
I don't know
Aflalo.
Aflalo.
about that one,
Yeah.
but okay.
I don't know about that, DC. I don't know.
Well,
DC.
where you getting Iguodala from?
I don't know, brother. I thought Iguodala
No,
played with
but
the
they
Nuggets.
AI played with Iguodala
yeah,
in Philly.
they had
But yeah,
Nene
they
too.
traded
Nene was
AI
on that team too.
try to build around Iguodala.
They had a deep ass team, man. They were like
Yeah.
12
J.R.
deep,
Smith
bro.
was on that team.
Yeah, he was. And he was
And
balling
then
out for him
they
too.
also had the Manimal. Ain't that his nickname?
Oh, you mean Nene?
Did they have
No,
him?
he had Nene and your boy. He talking about your
Oh,
boy.
Nene. Yeah, they had Nene. And
Birdman?
The other cat with the dreadlocks. Him and Nene. I don't know. Damn,
Oh,
what's
the
dude name, man?
the little dude
they
that
had
was a
that
hustler.
dark-skinned dude who
I know
broke
who she's talking about. I don't remember his name. I remember his nickname. They call him the
what's his
Manimal.
name too.
What's the little dude name? He played different
He was
for different
dunking on
teams.
everybody, get a bunch of
He
rebounds and
he looked like a small
blocks
forward,
and
but he
stuff.
played like a power forward.
I thought that's what the
real
Manimal.
long dreadlocks. I forgot what dude's name was. Fareed.
Fareed,
Yeah,
Kenneth Fareed.
that's his nickname, the Manimal. That I just
Yeah,
Kenneth
I
Fareed.
said you was right. I couldn't remember his real
okay.
name.
Y'all was just thinking of his real
Kenneth
name.
Fareed.
Right.
Okay.
Birdman was on that team too.
Birdman
That's
was on that
crazy.
team.
Yeah,
Kenneth
Birdman,
Fareed.
Bro,
he was on that.
they had an awesome team, but George
They
Karl
did.
was the coach, bro.
Yeah, he
Oh,
was.
Allen
man.
Iverson would talk about how he dropped 55 one game, and then George Karl was like not giving him minutes the next game because he stayed out and went out to the club the night after or whatever. I'm like, man,
So he
George
was trying to
Karl is
reprimand grown men, like, dog,
yeah, bro,
I'm
lunatic,
grown.
man.
Yeah, I
Lunatic.
never liked George Karl. And and what's his name? Golly, a dude from North Carolina was on that team. Well, he was a point guard. He was a backup point guard. He was on that team too. I forget his name.
There was like at that time before you had the I think it was like them and the Phoenix Suns, maybe. It was like two of the deepest teams, top to bottom in the league.
Yeah, it's really something when you have a boatload of
It
talent like
took
that.
Kobe. It
But
took Kobe to kick them out, man.
Yeah, George Karl was horrible. You know, one thing he made a statement one time. He was like, "Yeah,
Yeah, that's
it's
Raymond Felton, huh? That's the
no,
point guard.
not Raymond Lawson, Ty Lawson.
Ty
Yes,
Lawson.
yes, it was him. I knew he was a point guard. No, not
That was good, man.
Felton
Yeah,
was
he
with
was,
the.
man.
Yeah, he
Okay,
was
go ahead,
okay.
Lex. Finish your thought, Lex, on it. We're gonna
No,
go on to this one.
but yeah, they interviewed him, and one of the players, I think it was Ty Lawson. He was actually playing really well, and it was some other guy. They were asking him, you know, how can you get these guys out there, you know, because they're playing well. It's like, and he was like, it's hard to find minutes for them. I'm like, I hate stuff like that. If someone's playing well, how is it hard to find minutes for
Sound like something
someone
Willie
who's
said.
playing well? Can somebody explain that to me? When he said that irritated me so.
I think I heard Willie say that, if I'm not mistaken, one time.
Willie said that multiple times, man. Come on.
Yeah, and you know what? George Karl, he
Don't
said
know
it
Willie
before
did say
Willie did. I can't stand that. I can't stand it. Like, they're playing well. They're playing well.
Gotta try and find these guys some minutes.
That's a horrible
the
excuse.
couch. I looked all in between the sofa cushion. I just
Because
couldn't find no minutes.
a lot of times when you're saying that, you looking out there and it's like, okay, you can tell who's playing well and who's not. But coaches choose to be like, well, yeah, we want that guy out there. But he's not playing well. Tonight's not his night.
He does the small bullshit I tell him to do. Lex.
You know, to me, I just feel like that's horrible. That's a horrible mentality to have. If you see that somebody's not having a good night, put the guys in that are. That's not a knock.
Some of them old school coaches, Lex, they be sticklers for certain things. Like,
but see,
if
that's
you
what
give
the
up too many
problem
back
is.
doors or whatever, I'm not gonna play you.
Man, you
Even
got to
though you gave up 3 in the game, that was 6 points. But it's like it's the principle.
So
the
thing is that you're not trying to win. To me, that's horrible. You're willing to sacrifice, you know, someone who's playing well over or someone who's not playing well over someone who is playing well, you're not trying to win.
But they're gonna tell you they playing a long game.
I'm trying to prove a point.
No, they playing to a script, like hey, this is how it has to be, dog.
When we
Peyton
win,
Manning,
we have to win the way I want us to win.
Manning caught audible. You know what I'm saying? If he saw something, hey man, something ain't right. I know they caught this play, but we changing it up.
That's where he messed up.
You know what I'm saying? That's how you supposed to do.
You only see what I say. You saw
something. Wow.
Y'all know what I'm talking about, coaches, man. Like
that's what you only see what I saw, what I told you to see.
Think about this, Lex.
Anything else?
A coach like George Call, imagine him with a player like Steph Curry, and he come down and first time this shit ever been seen.
Oh, dude, that's
and Steph Curry shoot one from the logo and that shit going. Oh. Man, George Call would take him out the game.
Yeah, he would. He would.
Yeah,
he could have shot 2 or 3 of them and made all of them. George Call, take him out.
Man,
my thing is,
that was the stupidest shot I ever seen. And if
that's totally intelligent. We could have circulated the ball for an easier, smarter shot.
What are you doing? Yeah.
Well, come on, man. We getting left field. Let's go to.
No, go ahead. Let's finish your thought. We about to jump to this article right now.
Oh no, I was just saying. Look, the thing is, if you're practicing those shots in practice, I why would you have a problem with it? If those are things that you're doing on a regular in practice,
we're talking practice.
I'm not talking about AI.
When George Carlin first learned NBA basketball,
AI cursed out Willie Green. Did y'all hear about that?
Hey, who?
Willie Green told that story.
AI cursed him out?
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Yeah. AI. I don't know what he said to him, but he was like Willie Green was gonna repeat it. But he was like, yeah, AI passed me the ball. And I looked around and then I passed him the ball back. And AI ended up doing something with it, but they called the time. Coach called the timeout, and he went up to Willie Green.
I told him
he was like, "Dawg, I passed you that ball, man, and you better do something with it. You don't just look around and just pass it back. You do something with this." Be like, I don't just pass you the ball just to be passing you the ball. I passed it to you for a reason. I mean, but he used a lot of colorful words, so just know it's AI.
My dog AI.
He was mad because
AI would have rubbed off on Willie. Shit. He clearly didn't learn anything from that, Lex.
No, he didn't. He didn't.
But
you know what? He was 0.5 for real. Oh, it's been 0.5. Give it back to AI and clear out. AI was so upset with him, like, dog, I need you to do something. You know what I'm saying? It's like, look, I'm being doubled and tripled. you need to do something with that. And not just look, why are you out here? But he was telling that to KG when KG interviewed him on
he did podcast. I need to go check that out, man. He do good interviews. His interviews are always entertaining.
He did that a couple of years ago though. But go on, my bad.
Let's pivot to this, fam, before we close out the stream. This is also something that came across the wire here. Sam Amick is saying the Spurs, the Nuggets, and Pelicans have interest in Jimmy Butler. So there you go.
They heard Jimmy talking about joy. Q, they couldn't resist.
Oh my goodness. The rest of the NBA is watching the standoff.
It's not the same joy, I promise you. And he gonna find out if he does.
Like we can change the narrative on our joy. We can have some angry joy around here.
You know what? Because if he is joyful, he won't be saying joy.
Oh, he gonna joy to the world. Willie Green is fired.
Okay. You could have.
So let's kind of delve into it because they have something going on right now. Between it, they're saying NBA is watching the standoff between the Heat and Butler with popcorn out, according to Brian Windhurst, and he would know about popcorn. So who notes that the team president, Pat Riley, doesn't make a habit of deferring to his star players, operating with a bluntness and strength that's somewhat atypical of team executives in this era. You cannot intimidate Pat Riley, one prominent player said to ESPN. As Windhurst details, Riley let longtime franchise star Dwayne Wade walk over a contract dispute in free agency in 2016 and reportedly shut down LeBron James when the star forward hinted he wanted head coach Eric Spoelstra replaced in 2010. If longtime Heat president approaches the Butler situation with a similar mindset, he's not likely to grant the 35-year-old's trade request if he doesn't like what Miami is getting in return. The Heat make mistakes, and sometimes they say they have issues with players just like everyone else. One general manager told Wendy, but they do not get pushed around. As Bontemps of ESPN points out within the same story on the NBA current collective bargaining agreement, it's not necessarily the worst outcome to have a maximum salary free agent walk away for nothing. So they said the Clippers took that route with Paul George that past offseason, opting for additional cap flexibility rather than taking back contracts they didn't want and would have had trouble moving. If the trade offers for Butler are underwhelming, the Heat may decide that that's the best path for them too. That's a little background on information, but let's delve into it. What's the thoughts on?
They're gonna keep suspending them, basically.
Okay, so what's the thoughts here? What do you guys think about Jimmy Butler, the Pelican?
I want to shed some history on this because the media is really not talking about more in depth on what's going on here. The same thing that's going on with Jimmy is the same thing that went on with D Wade and LeBron. But those takes that you just said, Big Q, it's not that. The thing is that Pat Riley basically got to a point where he did not make changes. Like they needed changes to be made. He kept telling Jimmy, hey, I'm going to get more help. I'm going to get more help. Now, granted, the Heat have gone to the finals how many times? And this is with Jimmy Butler. They've gone to the finals twice. And for the most part, if you look at their team, it's the same. It has not changed. They were trying to they were Kyrie before that he got traded to Dallas. There was KD before he got traded to Phoenix. Like Jimmy Butler was telling him, hey, we need more shooting. Like, I don't know, like the Heat, they don't really put up points like the other teams. Now they find ways to win, but it's like, just think if you're adding another shooter to the squad that you already have. But instead of adding, guess what? You lost Max Strus. You lost dude who went to the Lakers. Okay, you lost Caleb Martin. You're losing key pieces and no one's being added that can really replace them. And that's what's been the problem. This was the same problem with LeBron. The same exact problem. LeBron was telling Pat, hey, we need this. We need that. We needed a point guard. Mario Chalmers, he did well, but he was up and down. The stuff with I remember LeBron, he actually went to Chalmers. Chalmers was playing a horrible game, and you could read his lips. They zoomed in on him. He told Chalmers, dawg, you need to stop smoking that weed. That's like, that was not something. If you have a team that's trying to win championships and your point guard is high out there. And LeBron knew it. So he was like, man, we need another legitimate point guard. And you know what Pat did? And I remember when he did this, he traded Miller. Now, LeBron has an infatuation about his shooters, right? Y'all know this, right? He traded and it's like, dude, that made absolutely no sense. You traded Miller to the Memphis Grizzlies. That didn't sit well. Everything, like with Pat, I understand Pat because he's built a culture at Miami and I respect it. But at the same time, it's like, dude, I'm looking at Jimmy's situation. This team has been the same and it's only been subtracting. The same thing with LeBron. Now, Wade's situation is different. They made false promises to him. I remember that whole situation because I actually followed D Wade. and they really messed him over. He took pay cuts. He took like 3 pay cuts. Dwayne Wade, like, he leads the franchise in like every category except for rebounds, right? He was never the highest paid player on the Miami Heat. Never. Think about that. Ain't that crazy? You know what I'm saying? He was never the highest paid player. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, you made false promises. You told this guy in the media. It's funny because they were sweeping this junk under the table. They were sweeping that under the table. It's like, man, you can't do that. So when you look at this whole situation, they're not talking about that stuff. Like, you have to listen to your star. It's not like they went up to you, you know, threatening you or using whatever word that you use, like, or intimidating. They're not doing that, Pat. The thing is, you're not. You have to make changes to the team. Your stars are asking, hey, we need help. Yeah, we got to the finals, but we need more help. You're trying to keep up with the trends. You're trying to reconstruct it. You can't just stick with the same thing. And not only that, Pat Riley believes, hey, if I'm going to pay you all that money, I want you to play all these games. Now, this is where the thing with D Wade comes from. D Wade has always had problems with his knees. Always. And what D Wade was trying to explain to Pat is that, hey, dude, I can give you 20, 30 points. But as far as my minutes need to come down. If you can bring my minutes down, my production will go up. But Pat was like, no, you need to be playing like 35, 40 minutes a night. And Wade couldn't do that. He was like, dog, you can get more out of me by condensing, like me not playing as many minutes each night. You can get more out of me production wise if I don't play as many minutes. And Pat, he's not with that. He's like, hey man, no, if I'm paying you this money, I want you to play 35, 40 minutes. Like, you know, it's like, dude, I can't do that. And that's where they added that in after the fact, as far as, hey, this is why we weren't. Dog, you already promised me you were going to pay me this money. You were going to have my back. So you went back on your word. And the media hit on it just a little bit, but they kind of backed up off of that. They backed up off of it and they started changing the narrative to something else. And it's like, man, these people, man, y'all crazy. But that's what happened with D Wade. Dude leads like in every category, and it's like, y'all couldn't pay the man. That's the only reason why he left. You lied to him. Mm-hmm. You all had a verbal contract. You were like, you kept misleading him, and then you went back on it. You know, so that's the whole stuff. All this stuff is kind of tied in. I mean, with Jimmy's situation, it's almost deja vu with what happened with LeBron, because it was the same exact thing. It was the same exact thing. There were things that he felt like they didn't need, and Pat Riley, you know,
I think he's more like D Wade than LeBron.
Huh?
I think he's more closer to D Wade than LeBron.
Who? Pat?
Jimmy's situation, like how you making the comparison.
Well, they're saying
the age, you
but
know,
Jimmy was going to Pat about getting help, and they've been. I don't know. You know about all the rumors with Miami and stuff. It's like they just haven't gotten anybody, but they've basically kept the same team, and you know, guys started leaving. They lost 3 shooters, man. And Gabe Vincent. Gabe Vincent was the other guy I was trying to name. You know, he ended up leaving. You know what I'm saying? They couldn't even keep the guys that really, really helped them.
He was going to go for too much money. I don't think they could afford him. What the Lakers gave him, they couldn't afford.
Pat waited too long. They weren't waiting
I don't know
around.
why they went and got Terry
They were
Rozier,
trying to
man.
get a big. They were trying to get a big name. They ended up not getting nobody. Once Strus and Gabe Vincent left, and then Caleb, he just left. He went to the Sixers. It's like, so you didn't get you didn't bring anybody in, and you didn't retain your strong role players. No, and Jimmy, he had something to say about that. I mean, he said it jokingly. Man, that dude was pissed off about that. Like, dog, are you for real? Like, what's going on? What's going on? Because Jimmy wants to win. I mean, they got to the finals. They did missing pieces.
Well, hell, I mean, I don't know what kind of mix that is. A pissed off Jimmy Graham dealing with whatever the heat culture coming to the Pelicans. If it's a possibility, I don't even know if this a fit. This whole culture, this whole situation would piss off Jimmy Butler, in my opinion.
Hey, that's great.
It would piss him off to come here because they don't. These people not disciplined down here. They don't have no culture. He's coming from a discipline.
And that's why we need Jimmy.
Shit, Jimmy Butler gonna come here and get. You
Jimmy's
know what?
We want. I want him to come here.
He gonna come
I
here.
want him to come here and do what he did in Minnesota. Do what he did in Minnesota. Start calling people out. Take the third team, the practice guys or whatever, and play Zion and Fred and bust their ass. Like, show them that it's more to this than talent, because we all know Jimmy Butler is not the most talented player.
Yeah, he works very hard. He's a disciplined guy himself.
Hard.
What?
What? Jimmy Butler come from? This dude was homeless, man. Jimmy Butler was homeless. He does not take the game for granted. To me, he played a game, other than these antics and shit he doing right now. But when he locked in, he plays the game like how you would want your star player or any player to play the game, man. He played the right way. He's an intelligent basketball player. He has a dog mentality. I hate the pink hair and all that weird shit. The emo Jimmy and all. I hate all of that. But as far as him on the court,
country too.
Oh, you can listen to country. Country music. If you said it was 1950, that wouldn't be no knock. You know what I'm saying? This is all the country you want. My grandpa used to brought me up on BB King. You know what I'm saying? Country ain't
listen to that down there.
Whatever. But anyway, so Jimmy coming here, man, I think wouldn't be the worst thing, depending on what we could get for him or how we could flip that. You know what I'm saying? It would be what we do after this move, because obviously him coming here ain't just.
Well, let me ask you this.
And that don't just make us contenders. But I think Jimmy Butler.
What did you give up for Jimmy Butler, though, bro? We're getting up with Jimmy Butler.
I'm gonna get to that.
Somebody said CJ and Brandon.
You ain't gonna be able to give up both of them for it. But because Miami won't be able to take that money. You got to bring in another team and send somebody else somewhere else. You talking about CJ and Brandon? That's like
28 other teams.
$65 million between CJ and Brandon. You can't give up both of them to get Jimmy. That's too much money to send back to Miami. But Jimmy coming here, man, I think can agitate some things. It could get some fights going on, like you said.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. It can reassess,
ruffle up some feathers,
our current, trajectory. Because if he come here, if he not with the antics, because there's a very good chance Jimmy could come here and be like, yeah, I just said I would rather get traded to any team, but I'm gonna come over here and do the stupid shit I was doing over there so y'all can trade me too. But if he comes here and he's Jimmy Butler, I think that can be an excellent turning point for us culture-wise. Will it turn into wins? I don't know. But I think culture-wise, that would be an excellent turning point, man.
I mean,
so we're gonna take on Jimmy Butler.
I think definitely he's gonna have a major problem with Willie, though.
I don't know.
He's the type. He's the type person, man. Yeah, you a problem. It's like, dog, this ain't a great.
That's what you want.
Yeah, but Willie Green, it ain't so much. But it ain't just so much Willie Green. This whole weird ass culture is not set by Willie Green. It's set by David Griffin. And I don't know if a guy like Jimmy Butler
I'd say both of them.
would
They a
would
package
be
deal.
here. Yeah, because because he hired him for this type of culture. You want a rough tumbling culture for here. Jimmy Butler comes here, he clashes with that bullshit
But
basketball talk.
that don't matter, Q. That's the things that you could do if we kept Jimmy. What you can do with Jimmy, you could get him here. You can use Jimmy as an asset. So he's here. Somebody else gotta want Jimmy, right? Maybe we can flip Jimmy and send him to somebody else and get something for him.
I don't know about all that. That sounds too educated for David Griffin to do. Double flipping for him, for
I
Jimmy Butler,
mean,
flip him to something else. I
we
don't know about all that, DC.
we did all of that shit when we did Drew Holiday. They
Yeah,
double and
double
triple
flip.
flipped and all. Yes, you did with Steven Adams and all of that.
Oh
Adding
man,
all that bullshit on to the trade. They can do it. They can
I
do it
don't
if
know.
somebody really wants Jimmy and whatever they was trying to give them, Miami didn't want, but they wanted what we had, and they didn't want what we
I
had,
don't
and
think
we
so.
willing to take. Man, I think I see it could happen. And then, I'm
I
looking
don't
at it
like
like
it.
this: Brandon Ingram is the center cog in it. If you taking Brandon Ingram and you find a way to move CJ McCollum too, and all of this thing, and you getting off BI and getting something for him, and CJ, and you can turn that into some type of picks or something, and Jimmy Butler, who you can get for something. Oh shit, I'm with it at this point, man. Like, you got to get something. Brandon Ingram, I don't think we just lined up with this long list of options at this point.
I hear you,
If
but
Jimmy Butler is the option,
I'm
shit, do
looking
it.
at other.
Fuck
I'm
it,
looking
do
at.
it. Like, can it make the season any worse?
I'm looking at other options. I mean, I'm
What other options? What other
whatever.
options are
What other options
you got?
present
You
themselves?
got Denver. You got
What other
maybe
options
maybe the
present
Clippers, and
themselves?
we don't know how serious they
I'm
are.
not. If Jimmy is a card that I'm playing last, if that's the case, but I'm looking at any other
Might be
options
your
that
only
present
option, bro,
themselves.
or one
Well,
of your only
if,
option.
well, if that's the case, we'll make that declaration when we get close to that. But there are going to be other options out there, and I mean, it's just one option that they could possibly go in. I don't like it, to be honest with you. I don't like it because I know it's going to be a disaster. You expect Jimmy
It's
Butler to
already a
come here.
disaster.
Yeah, but you expect it's going to be worse than what you see now. Because
I
if
don't
Jimmy
think it
Butler,
can get any worse. I think
man, Jimmy Butler get here and
y'all
clash
think
with
it can get
David
worse.
Griffin.
Y'all crazy, man. It
David
can't get no
Griffin,
worse. It's
It's gonna
already
be
the
man,
worse
worst.
crazy,
regardless.
man. It
It's
is when
horrible.
you
What
talk
are
about
we?
getting
We
Jimmy
7 and
Butler here to
29,
clash
man.
with David Griffin, and you talking about here, just do any
Hey,
fucking thing.
But
Let's
but
just
Big
do
E,
hey,
anything.
that's
it's
Man,
what
come on,
already
man.
you
going
You
need.
to be
don't
Somebody
make
worse.
clashing with David
you don't
Griffin.
make no stupid ass decision like
You
that. You got to
need
be
somebody
smart
But
about what
clashing
you
with
need to
David
do,
listen,
Griffin,
man.
and you need
Man,
listen,
somebody
Big Q.
clashing with Willie
David
Green
Griffin
or
not gonna
somebody,
bring a
man.
guy in here gonna clash with him, bro. Come on, man.
No, I ain't say they're gonna do it. I'm just telling you what could happen or be the
It's
possibilities of them
it's not
doing or
gonna
what they could
happen.
look to do.
It's not gonna
But
It
happen.
wouldn't be the worst thing in the world to do, is what I'm saying. I didn't say
It's
they're
not
going
gonna
to do
happen,
it.
bro. I don't
It's
think it
all
happens.
hypotheticals, man. We're not dealing in with whether the Pelicans gonna do it or not. If we dealing in what the Pelicans gonna do, they probably ain't gonna do shit because they stupid. They're gonna sit around, twiddle
Come
their
on with it.
thumbs to where they don't be able to do nothing, and then Brandon ain't gonna even walk for nothing, or they're gonna try to re-sign him and go at this bullshit again later. That's what the Pelicans would do
Okay,
if,
DC, you see what you
if
did right there?
nobody ain't putting pressure on them.
You see what you did right there, DC? That was what I wanted to hear. You kept it real there, brother.
I was
That's
keeping
what
it real the whole time with the Jimmy Graham thing.
Oh, you did?
Yeah, I'm telling
Oh my
you,
bad.
if he came here,
I
it
thought
would be some shit.
that last commentary you just hit, that was some real
Man, I
good
was keeping
energy
it
right
real the
there.
whole time, man. But
Oh, I wasn't talking about that other crap you was talking about. I was
yeah,
talking about
I
that
don't give a
last
fuck
one
what
you
you thought. I
said.
was telling you what I was doing the whole
Oh,
time.
that
But
part where you said about Jim,
yeah,
that what the
yeah,
Pelicans is gonna do.
yeah, Tone Loke. Yeah. But anyway, dog, like, if Jimmy came here, it wouldn't be the worst thing in the world. We have to, I guess,
See, that's
as a
DC.
unit, being Pell supporters, man, agree on something, or try to have something we speaking up about. Because if we don't put no pressure on them or give them ideas on what could be, they're not gonna do shit. And we know that. Come on, man.
Well, I mean, I get what you're saying, but DC, there could be worse options than Jimmy Graham. You're right. You know, I mean,
it's Jimmy Butler.
Jimmy Butler, but you could have you could get Cam Reddish. But here, go ahead, Lex. Go ahead. Let's get your thoughts, and then we'll get ready in the stream.
Thinking about football over there.
I know.
No, but I kind of feel like if this trade did happen, as far as getting Jimmy Butler, I feel like, again, what I was saying before, at this point, I feel like it's not the initial trade, it's going to be the trade of the initial trade. Okay?
Hold on,
So
Lex. Hold on. You got to run that back again. All right, what's that again, Lex?
I'm saying, like, look, if you make a trade, it's not this initial trade that's going to do it. It's going to be the trade after that. So saying that,
Absolutely.
hey, you trade for Butler and then you trade Butler to get other pieces. Because let
Right.
me tell you something, like, real, and I don't even know how feasible it is because Butler wants to go to a contender. And obviously, the Pelicans are not a contender. You know what I'm saying? But if something were to happen, they would need to do something like now because you know, I'm pretty sure Butler would want to go to like I said, a winning situation. And that's not something that means you're talking about making, if that trade did happen, to make another trade before February 6th. Which the way that the Pelicans move, that probably wouldn't be feasible. So if they did get Jimmy, it would go past the deadline. He would be with a losing team, and then they would try to do something in the offseason.
Okay, so
I think, you know, just being realistic, but I don't think he would be coming here because he wants to go to a contender.
I don't think he has a choice at this point. No, like I mean, he don't have a no trade clause, so and then he already pissed Pat Riley off. So I can guarantee wherever Jimmy Butler goes, it's going to be a non-contender.
How much?
He's gonna
How much?
purposely choose to send him to a non-contender,
Well,
even if
one
they
thing I
take
will
less.
say, Pat doesn't.
that's
Pat
possible.
tries to send you where you want to go.
Well,
He's
Jimmy
not.
just
He's
went
not.
and he just pissed and shit all over them. So they not trying to send him nowhere that he want to go. They don't want to see him succeed now. They want his career to be.
I don't know,
Yeah.
DC. If
I
they find
mean,
the
I
right
don't see
deal,
a
them
lot
doing
of
him a
times,
favor after he
one
tried to
thing.
embarrass him in front of everybody. Y'all have seen all the antics Jimmy been doing, man.
I know they suspended them and everything, but I'm just
Yeah,
Hey,
saying.
I don't
hey.
think he.
Okay,
No,
so
I don't think they trying to make sure he
let
go
me
to some
shed some more
contender and all
history
that.
on you.
I think it's
Shaq,
business, bro. If they can get a
Shaq,
good deal for him, they'll flip
Shaq
him.
and Pat.
The good
I
best
think
deal
Shaq,
gonna come
Shaq
from
talked
teams that
about
ain't contenders.
how like him and Pat got into it. Okay. And the thing is, even when they got into it and tempers were flaring because I believe it got physical. Okay.
With Pat,
Yes.
what?
That's how heated they were. Shaq talked about this.
What did he
The
fight his
next day,
security guard? Like
the
how'd that work?
next
I know
or
Pat Riley got that pistol on him
look,
saying, boy, you better not come over here,
Shaq's
boy.
bodyguard, because Shaq told this story. Shaq's bodyguard
I
said,
got
"Dog,
that heat.
you might as well start
Literally.
packing." That dude, after what happened, that dude ain't keeping you. You about to get traded. Now, Pat did end up trading him to the Suns. Okay. And the Suns, they actually weren't a bad team. So even though he was pissed off at Shaq and it got really, really bad, I don't think it got as bad. This Jimmy Butler and Pat, I don't think it got as bad as Shaq and Pat. I'm telling you. Because Shaq and Pat had some battles. And it was way uglier than this right here. So
I don't know. Pat
Pat
got the
really
hair
don't
slicked
really
back. I
have
think
grudges
Pat got
like
some
that
Mai
unless
Tai.
he didn't change. You know,
Maybe I mean
obviously
maybe he could luck
get
out. The
older.
best option maybe come from a favorable team. But I just think once you do all of that in the press conference, they just gonna send you where they can get the best what they can get for them.
Yeah,
And
I mean, yeah,
typically
they're
that's
thinking
usually
about
from a
themselves.
non-contending team. Typically.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I think shoot, they said the Warriors in Houston had were the highest had the highest chances of getting Jimmy Butler, but the Warriors said that they didn't want to include both Kuminga and Wiggins within that trade.
I'm sick of
And
the
Houston,
Warriors and they shit.
I
They
don't
want to because they don't want to include Kuminga and Wiggins. The Warriors just they expect to get something for nothing.
I mean, yeah, that's
They
what
got the salary cap issues that they got. It ain't like they could just.
I mean,
take
you want to
all
win the
salary.
trade though, DC.
Okay, well, get nothing. Trying to win the trade.
Hey, you know what? Hey, Danny Ainge did it, didn't he?
Yeah, he did. But I mean,
Danny
like,
Ainge did it. So the thing is, trust
but
me,
Steph is
you
how
have
old,
G.
Lex?
you have GMs that are stupid. I mean, look at Griff.
We got to one of them.
You know what I'm saying?
I'm just
He ain't
talking
even
about
the GM. He's the VP.
right, but like Steph is a certain age, right?
We don't have a GM.
And you trying to get a player to pair
really
with them to
We
make
don't.
one last run at a championship, right? You're not gonna be able probably to win that trade. You're gonna be the more desperate team because you're
Worst
trying to
team
get
in
your
the
last championship with Steph. He maybe got what 3-4 years left, if that. So it's like, and you think you're gonna fleece somebody, like they just go give you a player for nothing and then clear out all the salary for you too. It just sounds crazy to me. Now, if they willing to throw a boatload of picks at you and do that, then I guess I could understand that. And he was like, no, we don't want to give Kuminga, but we'll give you 3-4 first-round picks for Jimmy and this and that. I was like, okay. But if they trying to do them same little 2 picks and then they turn around and making all these reservations on what players man, get out of here. Y'all crazy.
The thing is that
all
these teams, you
y'all
got to
get Brandon Ingram. We'll take that package.
And that's what they're thinking about, because the thing is, you still have to have depth.
Give me 2 first.
It makes no sense.
Y'all gonna have BI.
It makes no sense to get a big time player, but you don't have any depth. That means after the starting lineup, you don't have nobody. You basically go to a G League team.
But they already saying they don't want to sign Kuminga to the money he gonna command.
Exactly.
Boy, want 100.
They don't want to sign him to that much. But Kuminga,
but you want to keep him. What are y'all doing?
Because Kuminga is talented. Like they just feel like he's not worth. Like he doesn't match what he's trying to get. Like Kuminga thinks he's like, hey, dog, I'm a star in the league, which I think he's in a way, he's almost kind of similar to because I think Stacey pointed this out. When you look at Zach LaVine, Brandon Ingram, they're kind of like caught in the middle. You know what I'm saying?
He a borderline.
He's not
all-star.
He's not
you make it one all-star.
He's not a star, but you know what I'm saying? Like he's right there, but he's still in that middle tier. He's not low tier, but he's in that middle tier, and that's hard. That's really hard because, guys are like, hey, man, like they're putting up decent numbers, but it's like, dude, you're not that type of star, if that makes sense. You know what I'm saying? Like, you're not like right now, Kuminga is playing with Steph. I mean, look at Jordan Poole. When Jordan Poole was playing with Steph, dude looked like he was a star, right? He was really doing it.
He's looking a little starish lately. He's been doing some star-ish things.
Okay.
He had a little game winner this year. He dropped 30 on us.
Do you believe that, Big Q? Look, when he went to the Wizards, you started to see, oh, dang, dog, you don't got it. The thing is, we started to see that a lot of Jordan Poole's flaws were covered up. They were covered up by Steph and just the whole system that they ran. Because when he got to the Wizards, he was exposed badly. Right? Yeah. So if you do that with Kuminga, now I'm not saying that it'll be as bad as Jordan Poole, but at the same time, you know what I'm saying? Like, maybe it'll be better for him just a little bit, but I don't know. That's kind of questionable. That's like, dude, I don't know if you have that type of star power, that perennial game that really like that the team can really get behind you and you can carry the team. I just,
all I can see, man, is we're gonna see what happened, man. That trade deadline, man, is what?
It's creeping up.
It's about a month
away. You know what's funny?
It's gonna be
ain't gonna do nothing.
He gonna do something.
You know what? Look, the more I'm looking, the Pels.
He gonna do something.
He gonna do something.
He has to, because they can't go into the luxury tax. But
hey, you know what? Hey, I'm just waiting. I'm just waiting because I'm looking at Willie, and we still looking up. Look, we still got his sunglasses on, right?
We're gonna have these
Probably
damn
gonna have
glasses
them up
on.
all season.
Yeah.
But Willie's
DC, go ahead
still
and tape them
here,
to your
and
face, DC. Go ahead
they're
and tape
not
them to
making.
your face.
There's no inclination that Willie is going to be gone anytime soon. I just don't feel like they're not about to do anything. They gonna run with him till the off season. Maybe they'll do something in the off season, but he's still here. And really, if it's about preparing, because I know Jay Black, he kind of alluded to this, preparing for next season. Why not start now?
That takes patience.
Why not start now? And that's what I was saying.
That takes
They
patience.
want to lose. They want to lose, Lex. They want to be in a certain position in the losing
But the thing
spectrum.
is that
When Zion get back here, bro, that's gonna grind to a halt, bro.
You need
Right.
to. The coaching still needs to change, though. Even if
I
you
agree
get a
with
young
that.
player, if you still have this nigger here, if you still have him,
What?
you know what I'm saying?
What?
If you still have him, like, dog,
Grandma Lex.
like, okay, yeah, everybody else, they might change their minds and be like, you know what, Willie, we gonna what if they do that? They keep Willie longer. For real. I'm just saying, like, this is scary. We don't need to hold on to these chicken heads no more. Let them go.
Chicken. Whoop.
Let them go in the name of Jesus.
He
Let 'em
said
go.
Negro.
Please.
DC
Because
said
this is
Negro.
scary. Because the longer they go,
Whoa, what
it's
year
like
is it?
they ain't gonna make no
What year
changes.
is this?
Right.
They ain't making no changes. They just gonna be like, you know what? Things are looking up. Let's just keep
my
Willie.
She
goodness.
brought me
Like,
back to
no.
1992
Oh,
in Grandma Kitchen,
Another
right?
season of this junk.
Where's Negro?
I don't want to see that dude's lip poking out. I don't want
You
him.
don't see him-
I don't
his
want him
nose,
doing
so-
this no more. I don't want him doing this. Okay.
You don't want to see him dancing, Lex?
I
got one here.
don't want to hear how proud he is of them dudes. Okay.
But what if they actually have a reason for him to be proud? Lex,
I don't want to hear about his joy. You know what I'm saying?
What about compassion?
I don't want to hear about that, man. Rip
What about
him
mindfulness?
off the
You don't want
wall.
to hear about
Rip
mindfulness?
him off the wall. Like,
Can we
I
give
know
some
I'm
credit
laughing.
around this
I
bit?
know I'm laughing, but
Get
y'all,
some credit around this bit.
you know what I'm saying? Like, look, I know everybody's about getting some top draft picks and things. You can still get that type stuff if you make trades. If you trade somebody for some draft picks, you can do that now. Let's start preparing. Prepare now.
Griff is going to wait, and I said this in the offseason, Lex.
We know.
He's going to wait till the absolute last day of the trade deadline thing.
He's gonna get something.
He's either gonna trade somebody like Javonte Green or something, which I've been seeing he's just not been playing lately, and he's not hurt no more. I like Javonte Green is a goddamn
Brandon
backup
Boston
player.
ain't playing either.
Nah,
They stopped playing him.
They're not giving him the same amount of minutes for some weird reason, but he's playing.
They're not, and he was putting up points and things.
You can't trade him. That would be stupid. Then Zion came out and said, like, we need to sign him to a contract. They're not trading him. That would be the dumbest shit you can do.
You know what? No,
But,
trust me. Hey,
that would be horrible if they trade him, bro. That's fireable, man. Because I'm not saying he an all-star or nothing, but your best player that you decide you're gonna keep, obviously, they talking about prioritizing getting rid of BI. They're not getting rid of BI and Zion. So you're gonna trade BI, right? And then you're gonna let BI walk in all season, and you're gonna trade BI clone. You're gonna trade the BI clone that Zion said she needs a contract. I don't think that.
Look at that lip. Look at that face. That's fake mad right there, y'all. Look, ain't nobody holding you back, dog. You know what I'm saying? Hold me back. Let me at him.
And Willie missed his career. He should have been a detective.
Oh, wow.
You know? Yeah, he
but
should have been a
Javonte
detective.
Green, Javonte Green has just
What
been
you mean wild,
magically.
DC? What's wrong with that?
I'm just saying that's an interesting take. Javonte
Is it?
Green has been not
Look at him.
getting
He'll
minutes
sniff out all the clues, man.
miraculously,
Look,
man.
hey Stacey, if they sign him
He could possibly
to
be
a
in a
real
trade.
contract,
That's what I'm saying. They're gonna get rid of somebody. They're gonna free up a roster spot, and they're gonna sign Brandon Boston to a real contract. That's what they're going to do.
I agree with that.
you
But
know what?
Javonte Green might be the guy.
Why is
'Cause
Jamal Cain
he's
still
not
on the
getting no
team?
minutes. I don't know.
He'll
Why
throw
is
it.
Jamal
Matter
Cain
of fact,
still
man,
on the team?
Jamal Cain, he on I think he's on a two-way too. Jamal Cain is on two-way.
Nah, I don't think he's on the two-way. I don't know. You gotta look
Him and
I just-
Mekovich, Brandon Boston, and Jamal Cain. I thought that was our two-way players.
well, look it up. You got the internet over there. Look it up. I don't think
You're not investing. You're not
I don't
even
remember them
investing
signing him
in
to no
Antonio
contract. We
Reeves
got him
or
as a two-way
Makovich.
guy.
Well, look it
Because
up. You got the internet. You don't have to guess.
I know DJ's always
You right
talking
there.
about Makovich, but it's like I don't even like talking about Makovich because how can you talk about somebody who's not getting any clock at all? He's not even in the rotation. He's not even on the professional team. He's down in the G League most of the time. It's like the team's not even trying to develop them or put them out there to see what they have.
Signed a two-way deal, man.
But you have guys like Jamal Cain who's getting clocked.
He ain't getting no minutes neither, Lex. He just on.
I mean, well, the little minutes
he
is
active roster.
You need to give those minutes to Antonio Reeves and Makovich, right?
Oh, I mean, that would be the smart thing to do, especially in the losing season. But you know,
it's like they're just doing things so backwards.
What you say, Q?
I said, yeah, Makovich is under contract. The three players with two ways DC is Brandon Boston Jr., Jamal Cain, and Trey Jemison.
Wow.
Trey Jemison. Yeah, you're right. I forgot about him.
You said Jemison's on a two-way?
He on a two-way.
Yeah.
Okay, so and it's nothing against those three guys, but why aren't the guys that are under contract, why are they not playing?
Because we don't have a plan, Lex.
Because Carlo Mekovic is hurt, isn't he?
Carlo's hurt, yeah.
I mean, if he's hurt,
but even when he wasn't hurt, we had him on an active roster, and
Willie don't like him. He can't play.
We couldn't even get in. He couldn't get in the game in garbage time. Man.
We talked about this on Friday.
He can't play defense. That's the problem.
It's like
Trey Jemison,
there is a huge clash between Griff
shoot free throws
and Willie Green. Cause why are we getting guys that Willie ain't gonna play?
I mean, Trey
Jemison. You clash between who? You say Trey Jemison and Willie?
No, I'm talking about Griff. Griff and Willie, like Griff is drafting guys drafting or getting guys that Willie doesn't like. And he doesn't play them.
You'll never hear Willie say that.
He doesn't have to. He's showing it. You know what I'm saying? He's showing it.
I mean, he likes JRE. JRE's not getting those minutes either. You know, he got some minutes tonight, but he's
getting more than the guys who
JRE get minutes, Q.
Yeah, he is.
Since he got back,
he get at least 10. They give him about 10 minutes a night.
JRE and Javonte Green are getting minutes. Those ideally could be Makovich, but we don't know what Makovich can do.
Makovich is, I mean, he got there a couple of times. I just don't think he impressed him enough, especially Willie Green. Willie Green's looking for your defense first. That's the first thing he's looking at.
He needs to be looking at the all-around game, but I understand defense, your defense is number 30 in the league.
Don't matter.
But it does. You're not the team
the Pelicans
playing defense.
Nothing matters. Results don't matter,
Lex, we the Pelicans.
Are they good human beings? That's all we want to know.
No, they ain't even good human beings.
And making sure the good human beings acclimate to our clone facility.
The defense is number 30
right.
in the league.
Make sure everybody's within our. Make sure they drink. We're
gonna love our way.
You say defense is important, and we got to get
after it. We're gonna love our way out of that. It's a small group of guys.
You're not
we're gonna love each other, and that's gonna magically turn around.
Exactly. The love will heal.
We're on a 2-game winning streak, Lex. I don't like your attitude.
Seriously, Lex.
Really?
Check yourself.
Because the facts are the Pelicans are number 30 in the league as far as defense.
Stats don't
and that's
matter.
supposed to be his bread and butter.
We're 2-0. We measure this in 10-game increments, Lex.
Stats don't matter.
Okay.
Only love
We
matters.
started over.
Excuse me.
And so far, we are 2-0 right now.
All right.
We got 8 more to play, and we can talk about how our record.
My brothers, hold up.
Okay?
DC, no. What is the record? What is the record? The whole record right now?
2-0.
No, it is 7 and what?
Oh, that was practice. That doesn't count.
That was last year.
Say the whole record.
That was last year. That was last year.
Tell the truth, nothing but the truth. So help you.
We've turned the page.
Lex, stop living in the past.
Nothing but the truth. So help you God.
That is the truth. We've turned the page.
No,
last year.
7 and 29. Is that correct?
When CJ scored 50,
old
we
news,
discovered something.
7 and 29. Is that correct?
I don't know what you mean.
We are 2 games. 2-0.
We are 2-0.
And 29.
It's 2025. You can't
stop
live
living in the
past.
past, Lex.
This ain't the past. This is current. Y'all are crazy, man.
Stop living in the past.
There's 2 parts to an NBA season. You have the 2024 part, and you have the 2025 part. We're in the 2025 part of the season. Everything that happened
I told you we're a basketball coach.
It's over with.
Oh my gosh.
We're a basketball coach.
Lex,
we guaranteed to get all the dog out you. That's what we're gonna do.
Did you get your Christmas gift? Your flask that we sent you in your Christmas gift? You need to fill it up and drink the Kool-Aid, okay?
Submit fully. Submit fully to the basketball coach.
Je ne sais pas.
What?
Je ne sais pas. Je ne sais pas.
Jameson what?
Oh my gosh.
DC.
Oh my. Okay.
All right. Well, let's get ready to live out. DC starts screwing up French. It's time to make a move. All right. So anyway, we're gonna get ready to leave out of here, man. Listen, I appreciate all you guys for being in the stream today.
Go Pels. We 2-0. We can officially
Pels.
say go Pels again.
Continue to keep drinking and lemonade, my basketball Pelican cult family members. We will eventually get out of this hole. We're about to win 50 games straight.
Okay.
Love conquers all.
Is it snowing down there? Is it snowing down there?
Love conquers all.
Is it
we got a hard freeze coming tonight, Lex. Held and froze over. The Pelicans are gonna win 50 games straight.
That's right.
Okay. Is it snowing down there for real?
20-something degrees in the city. We got black ice coming, baby.
Oh man.
You said black ice?
Black ice.
Hey, sing the song. Sing the song, DC. Here you go.
I don't know the song. What's the song?
Put DC's music on.
Wow.
What's the song? I don't know the song.
What are you dreaming about?
What I'm dreaming about? Fire Willie Green.
On the right note, man. Come on.
Go ahead, DC.
It's 2015. We are living in with our offense.
Hey, yeah.
Willie must go. This dude in the back messing me up with these lyrics.
And Griffin too.
Griffin
Green got to go.
Yo, that's terrible.
Please.
All right, we're gonna get out of here, man. We'll see y'all on the next episode of the show, man. Pelicans face off against the Minnesota Timberwolves, man. Listen, they won 2 in a row. We won 2 in a row, fam. That's where we are right now. We'll see if we can get 3-0 against them there Timberwolves.
Goddamn French Montana.
Oh my gosh!
I think all light skinned people look alike.
You do look like French Montana. You rap like him too. You said folk on the bottom look like my French. You rap like him too, brother.
All right, dog.
Oh my gosh.
All right, we're gonna holler at y'all on the next one. Much love.
Oh
Never heard that one.
You're listening to the Pelicans Postgame Report on the PRO Media Network for all things Pelicans.
Perfect. Fly Pelican, fly Pelican, fly Pelican. And I tell them that. Birds of a feather, fly down, I'm a Pelican forever. Pelican forever. Ain't gon' lie, I feel flyer than I ever been. We stay ballin', this New Orleans, I'm a Pelican. It's going down in the nest, wild, wild west. Come in town and you best, show us some respect. 3-point threat, I better make it rain. If it's up, then don't jump stupid like your ankle sprain. Always said, never hate the player, hate the game. Jumper where the dame late, punch a train. Post game, Big Q, talking about business. Bird gang, YouTube, they ain't flocking with us. Lock up the division mission, get into the finals. Finish competition, then it's going win the title. I know this flyer than you can get. Such a threat that the refs just might call a tag. You could double, you could press, but you can't check. Right, left, slide by you like a Eurostep. Fly Pelican, fly Pelican, fly Pelican. And I tell them that birds of a feather flock together. Fly down, I'm a Pelican forever. Pelican forever. And never, and never, and never, and never, and never, and never. Say birds of a feather flock together. Yeah, fly down, I'm a Pelican forever. Pelican.
TheWhoThatDaily.com. That's right, TheWhoThatDaily.com. Your one-stop shop for everything New Orleans Saints, New Orleans Pelicans, LSU Tigers, even the top flight boxing news. So if you're a Who That and you're looking for a place to stay up on your team, TheWhoThatDaily.com is your site. TheWhoThatDaily.com for the sport Who That in all of us. That's right, the Pro Shop is the platform store where you can go and buy all the latest merch to support the platform. Available at the Pro Shops, we have dozens of hundreds of products available for you and your family. Unisex tees for men and women, hoodies and sweatshirts, tank tops, kids and baby items, long sleeve tees, mugs, pillows, wall art, bath bedding, face masks, phone cases, stickers, bags, fanny packs, socks, hats, and many other items. Please feel free to check out the Pro Shops. The link is in the description section below. And remember, it helps the platform continue to grow. Check out the Pro Shop and Who That too.